through some mutual.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's it. So that, but
And apparently she not only supports you, but she enjoys the fact that you're doing this as well. Yeah, I don't. Hold on, Karl. I don't know what's going on with
this
the
is the
phone line here, but up, Nimas, the college football championship sort of is going to be played soon, and it's Bama and Georgia. Who do you favor in that?
I think Bama will pull it off, but I like Georgia.
Yeah, it would be nice to see the Bulldogs win it, and then I would
Somebody new.
Yeah, sort of. It would be also nice if one of them would play. Whoever wins it would play UCF and see what that's all about. Since they've already pretty much proven they can do it.
Yeah, it's kind of bad that a 13-0 team couldn't get into.
Chris, you there?
That would be a negative.
Come on. So who's your favorite NFL team, Chris?
It's got to be the Minnesota Vikings, born and raised. Sat on Grandpa's lap, watching it when I was a kid and all the way through now.
Yeah, I knew that because you sent me some information. But you and Karl are both teammates on the Scottsdale Crusaders in the Arizona Football League. And you guys, as a unit, have always every year this defense has pretty great chemistry. And now, Karl, I don't know if you know it, but Chris is like 72 years old.
I don't think that 72-year-old on my defense.
We've got both of you guys posted up on Facebook, and Chris played in the league as a single man and a young man back in the day. And we've got some of those photos up, and now he's got a big family with beautiful children, and he's at the age where most guys, they just can't go anymore. But Chris, you keep yourself busy running and in the gym and fighting. And dude, I gotta ask you, man. First off, tell me about your workout regime, how you pull that off, and then tell me the diet you have to go along with that, because you can't be fighting, science. You've got to be doing something right with your meals.
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks about working out, but I truly believe it's like 50, if not more, % diet. And I noticed it just the way over the years with me. But I've been making I made a change a few years ago, trying to get up every morning. I hate running, but I try to get a 5K in. It's not like I run it real fast, but it does, the cardio helps. And then as far as workout regimen, I'm not pushing a whole lot of weight because as I'm older, I mean, like Karl's pushing some heavy weight.
Yeah, he is.
But he's a beast.
Yep.
I just consider myself just like a streamlined athlete at my age, and I kind of want to keep it that way. And I kind of keep pushing the envelope. But I keep saying one more year. But I feel pretty healthy. I like the camaraderie that we have with the Crusaders. Coaches are awesome, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, as far as diet is concerned, I typically try to just eat, pescatarian fish, sushi, salmon, vegetables, fruit, but over the holidays here, can't lie, I had a few pies in my face, so I ate them.
Right. Italian food, you can't escape the fat, man. It's awesome food.
Right.
Now, Karl, what year were you born?
1990.
19 what?
90.
90. Well, Chris was playing for the East Mesa Raiders in 1998 when you were just a little child.
Yeah, I graduated high school in 1990. Thank you.
And I'm making a contrast because, first of all, like you said, Karl Manz is a beast, and he's faithful with the gym, and he keeps his body right. And the two of you together are like bookends in terms of fitness and preparation to play this game. It's kind of remarkable. Chris, I've seen you play. You look as good, if not better, than you did in '98 when you first started playing out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously when I was 28 years old and playing, you could eat and do anything you want, and not really. I mean, I was hitting the gym, but not. I was doing what typical young guy does, trying to throw a bunch of weight up, eat whatever I want. But as you know, it's like, 5 years go by, 10 years go by. I think the point was about when I was 35 was the worst shape. I mean, well, round's a shape, but I didn't want to be round. So I had to make some lifestyle changes because the metabolism slows down. I started to have kids. You know, everything kind of changed, but then you just can't make excuses. You just got to try to do it.
Yeah.
Get out there and hammer it.
The running thing is kind of nice. You're blessed, fortunately, with good knees, because that's, yeah, as you get older, that's generally one of the first things that goes, and I think you've avoided problems with that.
Yeah, I mean, last year is a little concerning because the first few games I did all right, and then I hurt my right knee a little bit, tweaked it, and it was kind of bothering me throughout the season. But this year I feel pretty good. I've been concentrating on legs pretty hard. That's one thing I, avoided when I was growing up, and my genetics didn't help me with the legs area. So I'm trying to focus on that more and more core strength, especially at my age.
Yeah. Now you graduated Shakopee High School in 1990, but you had a remarkable career. You were athlete of the year. You were in football, wrestling, track and field, captain, co-captains of each, and Minnesota State Mankato walk-on for a little bit. And you mentioned in your bio information the same college that Adam Thielen from the Vikings went to, and that's got to make you proud.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to look back. I mean, the team was obviously completely different, and I was just a young kid walking on. I mean, these guys, it was a Division II, but these athletes, I mean, they're from all over, and the boys from Chicago, and I mean, they kind of ate me up. I was pretty much out of my league even in Division II, so I can't even imagine Division I back then. I was only 5'7", 175 pounds. I mean, I grew a little bit since then, but I mean, it was fun. But it is what it is. But seeing that happen he was a no-name or two, non-drafted, came out of nowhere, pretty fun to see.
Yeah.
And a Minnesota Viking.
On top of it all, who would have known with their quarterback last year going down with injury, and now there's no room for him at the moment.
Right. I mean, it's Thielen now. He's the receiver, and he grew up in Minnesota. He's a Minnesota Viking fan too. So it's like his dream completely came true. It's kind of inspiring and kind of the underdog. I really hope the Vikes take it all the way home for the first time ever. Seeing an NFL team at their home field, if they make it to the Super Bowl, would be awesome.
What a way to break the curse, right?
Right.
It's that would be awesome. Now, Karl, what's it like playing with a guy like Chris, who's so prepared physically and mentally every single week?
Reliable. That's the best way you could put it. Him playing that safety position always gives you the comfort of knowing that you have that backup. You have somebody there doing their job.
Yeah, that's got to be an awesome feeling. Plus, he's a coach on the field. Did you have another call? No? Oh, because I got the third light flashing. Okay, gotcha. All right, guys, if you can hold on, we got to take a break for like 2.5 minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah.
All right, you're listening to the Arizona Sports Network radio broadcast, and I've got Crusaders Karl Manz, Chris Siino on the phone. Right back.
Yeah, being a man got nothing to do with age. You could be a boy to...
Welcome back. You're listening to the Arizona Sports Network radio broadcast, and we had a caller that was going to be on with Earl, a performer, a rapper named Raymond Green, so he'll be on next week from 7 to 8 p.m. To talk about that, his career and his faith and the whole 9 yards. Currently on the line with us right now are two very good players in the Arizona Football League on the Scottsdale Crusaders, Chris Siino and Karl Manz. Both, I've watched you guys both play, and I will say that the veteran leadership that you bring to it kind of balances the team out, because you got a good mix of youngsters, and they need to know that somebody's going to stay focused on the game, and you guys make that happen.
I don't know for Chris, but for me, the way I see it is we had a lot of guys change teams or leave our team this year. We had a few core guys that stayed, and then with what we brought in, Bobby Padilla and Ivan and a couple other guys that we got in, they really helped solidify our defense. And then with the center that we got in, Mike Blue, and then the guys that we retained, it helps the veteran leadership. It helps control the tempo and help bring everybody together.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. I mean, as far as like, I usually, for me, I just know what since I've been playing with Byron now for the past 2.5 years. I'm familiar with what the play calling is with the team, and I feel confident, a lot more confident than when I first joined the team. But as far as leadership is concerned, I'll step up when, for me, it's kind of like I look at it as step up when I need to. But I like to see the younger guys kind of lift up too. And when I came in here, and I didn't expect to, hey, I'm going to be the starter all the time. I knew when I had to bow out, because obviously I'm a little step slower than some of these guys. But I do what I can, and I told Byron, look, put me where you need me. I'll contribute where you need me. Well, this year, since we're not as deep as we used to be, I'll have to step it up too for myself. So head on a swivel, be confident, and everybody stays healthy. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and Earl Butler, boxing champ, world champ, was on earlier, and we talked about, how do you adjust for speed or talent or age differences, and he said it's easy. It's called focus. So that's what you guys are both talking about, is staying focused and making sure that you guys are in the right spot so the rest of the guys can see that.
Well, if you're focused, then everybody else will be focused. If you bring the intensity, then the intensity should be there. With the leadership role, nothing needs to be said to you. You should be a coach on the field. You should be able to help out with any position and be able to help out anywhere when needed. I had a little injury setback, and me not being on the field, I'm still at practice. I'm still wanting to be a part of it and still being involved.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely gives an energy boost to have that, see that kind of leadership too, and have that camaraderie. So whether you're injured or not, being there, supporting the team, bringing the younger guys up, saying, "Hey, look at Karl over there. He's here. Looking forward to having him back on the field." So
yes,
it helps.
Now, Chris, there's an interesting note. Well, two actually. One is you in Golden Gloves boxing. You were KO'd in your first fight in '91 in front of Joey Browner, a former strong safety for the Vikings, and you say "sigh" at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the hardest hitters, along with Ronnie Lott back then, and he is a beast too. And I just remember we went in downtown Minneapolis. It was my first fight. I was 19 years old. No clue what I was doing. I didn't know who I was fighting at first, and then they put me in the ring with this guy. He was a former champion in our weight class. He's all tatted up, and he's like, come on. I'm just standing there like, shit, grabbing my pants. And then all of a sudden I look over, and there's Joey Browner in the crowd with his wife in his fur coat. And then when Golden Gloves, we're still, headgear on, and the rounds are only 3-minute rounds, or 3 rounds of a minute and a half.
Right.
Well, I made it through the first couple rounds fine, but my inexperience in boxing too, I dropped my guard, and the guy gave me a hook like slow motion.
Wow.
And badoom, in front of Joey too.
That's crazy. Yeah, and that's like a third choice. I'd rather ride bulls than box, so it's a lot safer.
Yeah. It was a good experience, but I only did it for 2.5 years, and
wow.
It didn't matter if you won the fight either. Your face was still kind of peppered with the weird yellow bruising and
yes. Yeah. It looked like you had an argument with an ex-wife.
Right. Exactly.
You can't walk away from that clean. Now, listen to this, Karl. I need him to explain this to me because I'm not sure if he means the Prince or what. You say personal security for Prince Rogers Nelson, and then you use the symbol from 93 to 96, Glam Slam in Paisley Park. What in the world is that about?
Yeah, that was.
I don't even know what.
Yeah, you're too young, Karl.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to listen, because he's going to explain it.
I mean, yeah, it was just it was an interesting time. I basically lived off of the MSU campus up Como Avenue at the time with one of my girlfriends, and I was looking for a job. I just got done with tech school too, and I was working a day job, and there's an ad for doing security at Prince's Club Glam Slam, checking IDs and whatnot, and just security stuff. It was a fairly big club. It was 2 levels, had a big stage. You'd pop in, But at the time, one of my other friends, one of the other security guys, was approached to be his personal security. And he called me up one night and said, hey, he wants to assemble 4 different guys. Are you interested? And I said, well, yeah. So I ended up getting on the team with 4 of them, and it was basically his personal security for him and his wife at the time, which is Maite. He wasn't married at the time. He was dating Maite, so I was kind of assigned more to Maite. So at Glam Slam security, and then at Paisley Park, his recording studio, he had late night parties. Like this back then, Karl, do you know what a pager is? Anyway, we get a page.
You used to wear on your hip, right? After you orders,
I would get a page.
Wow.
I would get a page at 2:00 in the morning. Hey, we're gonna have a party tonight. Let's get over here and get set up. I mean, it was just an awesome experience. I mean, it was for security for him. It wasn't like you had to worry about someone bull rushing. It was, besides the ladies, but it was more we had to keep our eyes open for like recording devices because he did not have bootlegs of his music or video of him or pictures or whatever. So a lot of times we're looking for that, not necessarily, physical harm.
Yes. It's just to put Karl back on track of who Prince was. He sold more records than the Beatles.
I know who Prince is. Purple Rain. I've heard a few songs.
Okay. The pager joke. That was good, Chris. That was a good shot.
Yeah.
Ask him if he knows what a 4-speed is.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You guys are perfect teammates, I will say. If I don't want to keep you if either of you have to leave, but at the same time, this is pretty awesome because we see you on the football field. You guys are getting ready for the game, and the worst place to talk to a player about anything but football is at a football game because it's just not going to work. And now you guys are a little relaxed. And Karl Manz scares people when he's warming up. His teammates kind of move away from him sometimes. I don't know if it's the noise or the fact that he wants to hit somebody so bad it might just be them.
I mean, he scares people when he's just walking down the street. What are you talking about?
Right. It's now,
I mean, for me, when it's game day, it's game day.
Right.
There's nothing else going on. I'm focused. I want to get my job done and do the best that I can to help the team out.
And you do that quite well. But I got to know, because Chris says he eats sushi, and there's all kinds of sushi. What kind do you eat? Is it just the rice and tuna sushi, or do you eat sushi?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just it's a place here, Katana. It's like one of the only sushi places in town, but they do a pretty good job. And salmon is usually the most nutritious, but I usually get a plate that's called the Salmon Lover.
Right.
And it's sashimi, it's sushi, and it's a roll with salmon. So.
Yeah, I've had that. It sounds, and it's good. I was worried because some of the sushi, hookworm's a big deal. And do you
people scare me on that.
Yeah, well, you're not going to get it in salmon, but some of the stuff is crazy. Are you a sushi man, Karl?
Not at all. Give me a steak, a chicken. I'm good with that.
Yeah, don't eat no stinking rice neither. Let the girls have that.
Big part of the diet. You got to get those carbs in.
Yeah, they do say that. Chris, you've got an amazing family, a bunch of beautiful daughters, and I'm so glad you put that stuff on Instagram. What's it like, man? You got a beautiful wife, and they're all girls, and here's this tough guy who runs 5 miles a day and was a boxer, and you can see the soft side in you. I mean, what's it like for you, though, to have those amazing little girls?
I mean, I started late, obviously. I had my first when I was 38, and, I mean, obviously, from a guy's standpoint, I want to have a son, but I wouldn't change anything for the world right now because she was born on my birthday, almost to the hour.
Wow.
And it was funny because I kept saying to my wife, Desiree, that, hey, she's going to be born on my birthday because it was like 3 weeks off or whatever. And all of a sudden, she had to go in an emergency section, and bam, she was born on my birthday. I was like, weird.
That is nice.
So, but yeah, then when we decided to try again, and I kind of want to have a daughter again, so I had sisters growing up. And then I thought we were done, and then she gave me the look. My wife gave me the look, and try again. And I said, well, I'm on the fence. If I have a boy, great. but as a girl, 3 sisters. But from my standpoint, I grew up, my mom comes from a pretty big family, and there's only one uncle, and the rest were girls, and there was 8 of them.
Wow.
And then I have 3 half sisters also. So, and my
crazy
oldest half sister had 3 daughters, and my youngest. I mean, there's women everywhere. So I mean, that's kind of probably the soft side of it, where it comes from.
But you're gonna love this part, Karl. When Chris is at his first daughter's graduation in high school, they're all gonna want to say, "Hey, how come your grandpa's here?"
That's messed up.
He's gonna be like 58.
I'll make sure I'm going to color my hair. lots of
I'm sure he'll still be in shape at 58, though, so he'll be all right.
Yeah, he will.
I'll be playing in the league. How about that?
No, you won't. You've already said you retired last year, so you're.
Hey, there's a guy like you on the Patriots last year. There's no reason Chris can't play.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. As long as the knees stay healthy, you'll be good. Karl, what's your family like? Are you from a big family or a small family?
I have 1 brother, 1 sister, and then my mom, my dad, and then I have some step-siblings as well.
Okay. So, I mean, basically, Chris is lucky that genetically he even made it to this planet. So, it's just like everybody has daughters.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my mom had me pretty young, too, and I'm her only child. But,
oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's I mean, I don't mind. Yeah, it worked out okay.
Yeah, it has. So, Karl, what do you do for a living? If you don't mind, if you do mind, don't say it.
I'm in law enforcement. I'll just put it at that.
Okay, that's excellent. Oh, that's nice. And so Chris is doing all the taekwondo, kenpo, jiu-jitsu, kenpo, karate, kickboxing, but you actually get to use that stuff.
A little bit.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Another reason to play defense. You know, it's a good. Now, Chris, you've done some remarkable things. When I first met you, when you came in the league, you were in computers big time, but you're way beyond that now. You have your own company. You mentioned some of the people you do work for, which I'm looking at that and I'm going, really, site development for Verizon, AT&T Mobile, and Sprint. That's some of the biggest companies in the world, dude. What's going on?
Well, I mean, again, I consider myself, lucky in a sense. I mean, I have education and everything, and over time, I was a terrible student in high school. I mean, I barely graduated, even though I was an athlete, but I had to do what I had to do to get by, and I had to pay for my own school and everything as I was going through. And, I wanted to be an architect, so I thought I was going to be an architect. I worked for some architectural firms. And then I got into computers, and at that time, that's when I joined the league, and I remember talking to you about that. And in 2000, I just stumbled upon a position with a friend of mine and got into telecom. I was a A&E, designing towers and site development.
Nice.
But then from that point on, from 2000 to about 2007, I was working for a company. And then I got into some more of the content management, did some consulting. I was flying. It was like memorable ones was like I worked for the Federal Reserve for about 4 months. They kept flying me out to Manhattan.
Wow.
And doing consulting with them. But then I got sick of traveling, so I had to plant my butt back here.
Right.
And just continued on, and now here I am. I decided this past year to open an office and hire some more people, and things looking good right now. So, I mean, phones aren't going to go anywhere, obviously. So.
Right. Well, guys, I appreciate you taking the time, and it's like you find out more about the guys who are playing. Like I say, it's not Saturday, so we can talk. And Karl and Chris, thank you for calling on. I'm glad you could be on together. 2 great teammates and 2 amazing men. It just kind of changes my perspective on everything we're seeing with both of you out there. We know you can play ball, but you guys are the complete package. It's the real deal. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us on.
All right, guys.
Thanks for having us.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Well, that's amazing stuff. That's 2 players from the Scottsdale Crusaders, Karl Manz and Chris Siino. And Chris is he's doing some stuff. They both are, and they're taking great care of their families and doing things they love, and still finding time for football. And the amount of dedication they both put in off the field to stay fit, stay ready, and continue playing and help their teammates is pretty remarkable. I know some college kids who don't work as hard as either of them, and they're playing college football. So we had some high school kids, a high school team in earlier, Copper Canyon. And by the way, the Copper Canyon Aztecs, head coach Sean Kemmer, they were in studio in the 8 to 9 hour, and we're going to we're going to replay that broadcast starting at about 10 after 11 tonight. And Larry Thomas, of course, coaches Larry Thomas, Jerry Ball, and Gail Taylor were also in there with Jacob Rosario. We're going to replay that tonight, so they'll have a chance to hear. It was a great visit, and they remind me this whole work ethic thing that Chris Siino has, along with Karl Manz, is pretty remarkable, and it's above the average. And they just do so many things and still make sure they're taking care of the family, and that's an awesome accomplishment. So appreciate them coming on, and I'm looking for stuff on my computer because I have like 12 screens up, because I got a text from Jim Henderson, who normally is here with me in the booth. He and Sean Anna were going to be here tonight, but they're both sick, and they did us the favor of not bringing it to us. But while we were talking to the two fellas about Chris and Karl, about their ages, in 1990, Jim says he was in the Persian Gulf waiting for Desert Storm to kick off. And what he didn't say in there was that at night he would go to sleep laying on top of all the bombs on his ship. So I guess if you're going to go, you're going to go. So you're not going to have to worry about it too much. Just make sure you can sleep. And Jim says he slept like a baby on top of the bombs, which sort of explains a lot, actually. Also, one of his favorite movies is Minions. And that actually kind of rounds out the, wonder what happened to this guy. He's a Maryville High School graduate, too, so that's really not his fault. But, and we talked about the two games. Of course, the Chiefs lost. We knew they would. And, sorry if that offends somebody. No, not really. I actually like their quarterback, one of their quarterbacks. So it's not.